Hello and welcome to the Hear It from the Pros interview series from AMFP Greater Philadelphia. We bring this content to you because today's healthcare built environment is ever evolving. The perspectives of our interviewees are a first-hand glimpse into future breakthroughs and impactful Greater Philly area trends.
In episode 2 of our series, we'll be chatting with Faith Orsini, VP of Facilities with Cooper University Healthcare.
Faith enjoys being part of a bigger whole, taking something that is only a thought or idea in someone's mind and helping it manifest into something real. Figuring out where in the puzzle it belongs, how big it should be, how it's designed, and how to capture the thought process and put it on paper so that a contractor can build it.
Faith takes a great sense of pride in being able to walk a space and know that it exists because of guidance she provided along the way.
Faith, thank you so much for joining us today.
We really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with us today. I thought we could start with a fun question. When you were 5 years old, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I'm not sure if I had huge career aspirations at 5, but I think, probably like a lot of kids, I started out wanting to be a teacher because, obviously you look around your environment, you see, what folks are doing, around you. But I think pretty quickly when I got into those, 7th, 8th grade, time frame, I had a real interest in architecture. And I had a guidance counselor, pretty funny looking back, that told me to never be an architect because I wouldn't make any money, which was pretty funny. And so they said, you've got this great expertise in math and science, like this, is doing very well in those subjects. You should be an engineer. Not not really sure why they thought as an engineer I was going to be making millions either. But yeah, so I followed an engineering path. I actually, when I got to that kind of college level, Drexel was offering an architectural engineering program, so I thought it was really the best of both worlds. And, yada, 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 how many years later, now I'm in healthcare. But still, maintaining my passion for, the built environment, which is really what gets me out of bed in the morning. So.
Awesome. Well, now that you have arrived at Cooper University Healthcare, what does your day-to-day professional life look like? And what are some of your goals for Cooper?
Sure. So if I had any 2 days that actually looked the same, that would be amazing. One probably constant in my day is a lot of meetings. But for the most part, right now, my role here at Cooper, I run our planning, design, and construction department. I am in charge of maintenance here in the acute care hospital, as well as maintaining all of our outpatient facilities. Cooper has over 100 outpatient locations, so we do property management for all of those locations as well. My role is very soon going to be changing here at Cooper. I am going to be transitioning maintenance and those outpatient properties to another assistant vice president that we're looking to hire. So if you know anyone, we're actively searching. And that is actually to free up my day for the new project that we're kicking off here. We have a $2 billion new master campus plan that's kicking off here. We're actually right now in the process of looking at architects to hire, and obviously that project is going to really be massive, in addition to the other work that we're doing. So right now we're actively managing an adaptive reuse project. We bought a Sears store, an old Sears store, that we're turning into a large ambulatory center. And so with those two large-scale projects, as well as all of the other projects that we're doing, it really made a lot of sense for me to start offloading some of those other responsibilities. So in the next probably quarter, my title actually will be changing to the Vice President of Planning, Design, and Construction, and that will really be my focus moving forward.
All right, looking over your career, have there been any facility features or special design initiatives that you've really embraced or have been passionate about in particular?
So, look, I think as healthcare evolves, the designs get better and better, right? So one of the things that we do here, and that I incorporated when I got here, was really robust standards. And it's really funny because to a certain extent, you can think of standards and say, wow, that's really confining. Or as I always say, standards are made to be broken, right? As we find that a product or a type of construction or a way that we do things isn't working, whether it be from an aesthetic perspective, whether it be from an EVS perspective, or whatever it is, then you're able to grow with that knowledge. And so that for me is really where it is, right?
Shifting gears and talking about your role at AMFP for a moment, I'm wondering, how did you find out about AMFP, and how has your experience with the Greater Philadelphia chapter been so far?
So how I found out about AMFP, I think it was either from, I think it might have been from Charisse, who was starting the chapter, and Dave Lamontagne, who's the president. He and I have a really long working history together. And so I was interested, came to one of the initial happy hours, and really just was, impressed with the group of folks, and really what the target audience, of the group. And I'll be honest, the thing that really was drawing me and having me look for a community where I could connect with, whether it be design professionals, vendors, or quite frankly, other folks that are working in healthcare institutions, really stems back from COVID and my experience here with COVID. I got to Cooper 2 weeks before the shutdown, so I didn't know the building, I didn't know my coworkers, and to be honest, I had been working in North Jersey for 15 years, so my connections to the Philadelphia community were a little rusty. And all of a sudden, you're kind of thrown into something that there's no rule book, there's no code book, you're kind of figuring it out, as I say, like you're MacGyvering, on the fly. And, I was lucky to have some of the community. So when AMFP kind of came about, it, for me, was an opportunity to start networking with those folks that, if we're in a similar situation, I hope we're not, that we do have that basis relationship to be able to tap into. It's so important.
Well, we know you have a lot of responsibilities to get back to. We really appreciate you sharing these insights with us. Thanks so much for your time and for sharing your knowledge with the community, and we look forward to continuing to work with you at AMFP.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.